Hello, this is the reading of my ebook, Steps to Self-Healing from Trauma, Childhood Trauma, or Dissociation. My name is Christine Cardoza, and it is my heart to help others who are moving through some of the deeper or more difficult kind of emotions, or even just on the start of your inner journey and coming back home to yourself and what that can look like. I wrote this book to help those who maybe are overwhelmed or are neurodivergent, have a hard time paying attention for a long time, to be able to look at the beginning steps of how do you begin to heal yourself, or when you are in overwhelm, what are some steps that you can take. And so I enjoy that you're here. Thank you for coming along on the journey, and we'll get started. So the book here, there are just a few chapters: the intro, breathwork, meditation, calming the nervous system and dissociation, boundaries, movement and daily routines, and ways to connect. So I'm going to go through them and I'll read the book. I'm going to add some extra little notes that I guess I'll just feel called into as the moment arises to say them. So if you hear pages rattling, that's me reading the book in person here. So this all started with a difficult depression in 2018. I was stuck. I knew that there was a way out if I could study the mind and why this was happening. I knew life wasn't meant to be shitty or hard. I had had those top of the mountain kind of experiences when I was traveling the world, and I wanted to bring those feelings back. I read a book called Mind Hack by David Bayer, who talked about being in either an empowering state or a suffering state, and I could relate. The good news was we could choose which state we wanted to be in. And that was the first time I had actually heard we could choose whether to be in an empowered or disempowered state. Continuing on, I am forever grateful for the holistic psychologist, Dr. Nicole LaPera, for sharing how she was healing her dysfunctional childhood experiences and teaching us how to be our own best healers. I understood this on a physical level with the body, but not on the emotional level. I gladly took ownership of my own inner healing, not leaving it to genetics, environment, or being a victim in some unacceptable lot in life. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? Most of us weren't modeled how to look after our own emotional needs. We lived in fear of being our authentic selves, being controlled, shamed, criticized, walking on eggshells, or maybe we were latchkey kids, self-soothing the best way we knew how. For those who are not familiar with latchkey, we were given a key to the house, and we came home after school and our parents were still at work. So often we fed ourselves a snack and tried to process anything that had happened in the day. Our parents didn't have the tools to model healthy behaviors because they weren't shown how to either. My mother did the best she could with what she modeled growing up in a fear-based religion. Her dad was Catholic and Mom became a Jehovah's Witness. We can definitely heal the hurts and release others from our past. This isn't a bypass for what may have happened to us. All of the experience we had serve us on some level. I started looking for the gifts and for what was going right in my life. I definitely felt loved as a child, but I knew that there were certain things that were happening in the family that were not healthy from an emotional connection standpoint. And so that's a big part of why I wrote the book as well. I began learning how to heal the inner child and how to reparent myself as my own wise inner parent. This was super helpful as I had never met my bio dad. I lived my life with a fear of abandonment and rejection that wasn't really true in my present reality, but what I was holding in my unconscious or in the subconscious or electromagnetic signature. The part of our healing journey or self-awareness is commonly known as going within, connecting to something bigger than ourselves inside of our heart space. Going within is getting really honest with what is happening emotionally on the inside. If you are hiding, dissociating, sick, depressed, afraid, angry, I'm going to throw broken there too, or have a feeling that you were meant for more, it may be time to do some inner clearing. Energy is everything. One thing that I learned after religion and moving through more of the esoterics or learning about energy is that energy cannot be destroyed or created. And so in that sense then, It's here. And even when our meat body goes or someone has passed on, their essence is still with us. And so that's been really helpful as well, just in moving through my journey of the last 3-4 years and learning about quantum energy, which is neat. Asking ourselves, what do I need? What am I hiding? What am I not seeing? Where am I controlling myself or others? Where can I add healthy boundaries? When we get curious, the answers will come. This new awareness is your medicine or the breadcrumbs that you need to move forward. Once we understand what our unconscious is saying when we enter a room, we will be able to attract the things that we want in our life. Feeling unworthy or any other kind of fear will keep you playing small, hiding, or in shame. The law of attraction is only effective once you shine a light on the shadows in your self-esteem closet or your self-worth. Learning the skill set on how to process and heal the triggers. This is about what is currently happening in your life, not going back to re-traumatize old hurts. It's looking at the emotions you are struggling with now and any life patterns, seeing where or why they're happening for you instead of to you. That's a really good reframe. Why is this happening for me? And the part of your soul self that you came to evolve. Everything that has happened will guide you to new realizations and how they work together. It's like connecting some of the dots for yourself. After learning more about the healing power of quantum energy and that it wasn't evil like I had been taught to believe through religions, just to share a little more on the religions, I was born third generation into a Jehovah's Witness family, went to a Catholic high school, married and divorced into a Baptist family, went to non-denominational churches after my life or my stay in Costa Rica for 4 years, and then I became really just floating or in the wilderness, as I'd say, doing nothing. And then I learned how to connect back to God. I really missed that part of it. So I would say I'm spiritual instead of religious, and really just learning how to connect. And then living in Asia, I learned all about, Buddhist culture, and then now raising a niece who is half Muslim. I've had this really interesting religious path to this life. And even in grade 11 religion at St. Mary's in Kitchener, I saw that there was this thread of truth through all religions, and that really resonated with me. I think on a soul level, there is only one creator, and so we are all one. We are all connecting to the same higher power, and it's just in what flavor or way that feels good to you. And continue to do that, just making sure that you do have a higher power, something greater than yourself that you believe in. That's really helpful when you feel very low. Okay, continuing on. I began coaching in July of 2020. I was amazed at how my intuition started to grow the more I went within and calmed my nervous system. I was also starting to see life patterns for clients and how they could heal their struggles and frustration, some of which I saw in myself. As I dove deeper into my own healing and studying the subconscious, I learned some more tools that helped me to calm my nervous system, understand the meridians in my body, heal old wounds for good, and step into my own power, how the body biologically works, what symptoms or what stages or phases that our body goes into naturally. My depression in 2018 was the start of my spiritual awakening. That's when I learned that we are all connected. Similar to the petals on a lotus flower, I was awakening to a greater awareness inside me. I had another cycle of depression January of 2021 when I wanted to up-level in my coaching business. I was shocked. I was having another depression after all that I had learned, but the cool thing was I had better tools this time. Even with a feeling of sliding backwards, I was oddly empowered. I started to use my tools and get curious. What was hiding this time? My 0 to 7 year programming and my low self-esteem or self-worth around money. A lot of that comes from religion. This feeling of, you're born sinners and not worthy, which I don't agree with. I think that we are born worthy. Scarcity mindset is a big thing as well that we've learned just from society, movies, religion, a bunch of different combinations. I was raised third generation Jehovah's Witness, a very high control group where love was conditional based on how you performed, or else you were dismissed or shunned from your support system. Conditional love was also a generational trait in my family. This was very confusing to a child when we look to our caregivers for our basic survival needs, where the trust starts to break down. I married into a Baptist family, another fear-based religion. I feel if you don't do this, right, follow these rules, then you're going to hell. I started to connect to God on my own instead of through religion. Society also teaches conditional love. And I'm just wondering, can we start to see others as their true higher self, doing the best that they can with the skills that they were taught, and learn how to be our own authentic self, responsible for meeting our own emotional needs? Coming back to love, because love always wins. All right, next I'm going to talk about breath work. This has been definitely, of all the things I've learned, this is my favorite because you can breathe yourself out of panic all the way to pleasure. Breath is so beautiful and very healing. All right, so breathwork is a powerful way to access your body's innate intelligence to heal itself. Breathwork is used to improve mental, physical, spiritual well-being, reduce stress, creates feelings of openness, love, peace, gratitude, clarity, communication, and connection. Breathwork also helps release trauma or mental, physical, and emotional blocks, as well as anxiety, depression, fear, grief, and anger. During breathwork, you intentionally change your breathing pattern and are in the present moment. This improves your emotional state and decreases stress levels. If you have trauma in the body, your breathing will be shallow, that's called chest breathing, or you will hold your breath. Observe if this happens during the day. This is how you come back into your parasympathetic nervous system. Breathing in a conscious and systematic way results in deep relaxation or leaves you feeling energized. A straight posture is recommended. Breathing exercises done multiple times a day to calm your nervous system and retrain your brain to be in rest and digest. How to do this. So hold your belly and your heart. So put your hand on your heart and your belly and repeat a mantra like I am safe, or I am resourceful, or things are always working out for me, or what's meant for me won't miss me. Okay, that's a really good one too. Or I'm open to trusting myself. I'm open to receiving, whatever it is that you're wanting to call in. The box breath is a count of 4. So you sit comfortably and relax, and you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, you exhale for 4 or 6. If you can exhale longer, it's better. And then wait for 4 before you breathe in again. On the exhale, pull in your pelvic and stomach muscles, relax the natural breath, pause before you inhale again. Okay, so I'm just going to practice this one here. We're going to breathe for a count of 4. So breathe in, hold, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. Okay, and then you allow your body to go back into that natural breath. So that's one. Another option is to take a medium inhale and then exhale for as long as you can. Wait until your body is ready to breathe again. That is really good for just teaching your body how to breathe through the lower belly, the lower diaphragm. The bunny breath is another good one. 3 bunny breaths brings you back into homeostasis. So it's 2 quick in and 1 really long one out. I'll demonstrate now. So it's that is your bunny breath, and it will bring you back into a place of homeostasis. You can set an alarm through the day to remember to do your breathing exercises, and that will help you. It will help you rewire the brain, and it will get your body into checking in every hour. How am I doing? How am I breathing? Am I in a calm state? Am I over stimulated, right? It's just being aware of what's going on around you. And definitely, if you can get to a breathwork class online or in person, they are phenomenal. A lot of stuff can just get cleared and moved through sound healing or through breathwork classes. And I really love elemental breath because they bring you up and down 4 times with the 4 elements. And when you are breathing in your body, you actually can create your own DMT, your own ecstasy, your own natural high, which is really fun. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to move to meditation. So meditation is an ancient tradition to create a sense of calm and inner harmony. This is one of the most important daily routines in healing yourself. If you have a hard time meditating, though, I would just switch to breath work and let that be just a part of your routine. We recommend meditating when you wake up in mid-afternoon for an energy boost, learning how to alter your consciousness, finding awareness, and achieving peace. This is a beautiful form of self-care. I learned how to do guided meditations first because sitting still was too overwhelming for my nervous system. Then slowly I started to picture a peaceful place in my mind and going there in my mind during meditations. Although there isn't a right or wrong way to meditate, it's important to find a practice that meets your needs and complements your personality. The health benefits of meditation include better focus and concentration, improved self-awareness and self-esteem, lower levels of stress and anxiety, and fostering kindness. Meditation also has benefits for your physical health as it can improve your tolerance for pain and help fight addiction. The mental discipline you can develop through meditation may help you break dependencies by increasing your self-control and awareness of triggers that lead to addictive behaviors. Addictive behaviors are really a self-soothing mechanism. Okay, so even someone who smokes and they want to quit smoking and they're so upset that they're still smoking, it's a self-soothing mechanism for them. So I would say, keep doing that until you find a replacement, another way of self-soothing so that the body doesn't go into, oh, I need a cigarette or whatever the addiction is. And then you go back and do it even though you don't want to. And then you're back into a shame loop. So it's really just paying attention and listening to your body. What does it need? Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches how to separate our focus on our body parts to the space around us in space. This reorganizes the brain that is used to chaos to bringing in to a calm brain, okay, or a nervous system that is used to being calm and joyful and content instead of in fight or flight all of the time. So how to do this now with meditation is sitting straight up or laying down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable and practice your breath work. Ask, what is for my highest good today? Let the answers come. If your mind is monkeying around, let the thoughts float off and then focus on your breath again. Focus on the present moment. You actually don't need to quiet your mind. Just give it, an awareness. I see you. Oh, yes, thank you, thought about the groceries, but I can let that go in a bubble. I'll come back to you later and back to focusing on your breath, right? It's just giving your brain something to focus on. Saying a simple mantra like Om, O-M, Om, or humming a sound brings you back to your breath and the present. And as you calm yourself down in meditation, you will receive messages or ideas that will help you make decisions and increase your intuition. The best time of day to meditate and rewire your brain is when you wake up. This is when your brain is still in theta state and the subconscious is more accessible. You can reprogram your brain at this time. Or even just before you go to bed. Okay, another breathing exercise actually helps the vagus nerve, which goes from the head all the way down to the pelvic. It touches all the organs. So when you hum, you're actually giving all of those organs a little bit of a massage. But if you use the word Om, O-M, and you hold it for as long as you can. So you take a breath in. And just hold it. It's a really fun game to play with kids or with other loved ones and see who can hold it the longest. What you're doing is you're giving your vagus nerve a little bit of a massage for all of the organs, and you're practicing your breath. You're practicing how to hold a deeper, longer breath, and it's telling your body that you're safe, that you're in a calm state. Okay. Next page is calming the nervous system. So if you were controlled as a child, walked on eggshells, had an emotionally absent parent, or wasn't safe to be yourself, your fight or flight mode will be tripped on. This could also be for parents who maybe yelled as you were kids, or if you were spanked, just when you were in a fear kind of environment. The good news is with breathwork, meditation, and self-care, you can heal this. You can heal the triggers or the body being tripped into that kind of fight, flight, freeze. Okay, when you're frozen. Fawn. Fawn is the people pleaser. F word is those who use sex or substance as a coping method. Food is another F for those who use the food as a nourishing or a coping method to feel loved. So those are the F's that we can get caught into coping methods that we're not proud of, or maybe we're just ready to up level and we're saying, you know what, I don't need to do that anymore. And so it's just learning how to reframe. The body's fight or flight response is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system, which is one part of the autonomic unconscious patterns nervous system. The other part is the parasympathetic nervous system, which works to relax and slow down the body's response. The sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system act like an accelerator. Sympathetic is speeding off away from danger, and the brakes are the parasympathetic on a car. Okay, so coming back into calm. You can see one is outside, moving away, masculine, and one is inside, moving closer in, a very feminine energy. Once the threat is over, cortisol levels decline and the parasympathetic nervous system slows the stress response by releasing hormones that relax the mind and body while inhibiting or slowing many of the high energy functions of the body. Anxiety are stuck emotions, not thoughts. Okay, it's unprocessed. Many of the sorry, I'm on the wrong spot here. So anxiety are stuck emotions, not thoughts. Dis-ease are stuck emotions in the body according to your environment, which usually started from 0 to 7 years old when that pattern started. Okay, and then I want to also share depression is unprocessed emotions from the past. Anxiety is a fear of the future and moving forward. Sympathetic nervous system equals fight, flight, freeze, fawn, the F word, food. It's a dysregulation, shallow breathing in your chest or holding your breath. I noticed after 5 months of meditating that I was holding my breath for no reason. Like I was fine. I was enjoying what I was doing on the computer. And I realized my breath stopped. It was like I was waiting, waiting for something big to happen. And so I had to just really learn how to be aware of what stage my breathing was in and learning how to calm my nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system equals rest and digest. So that's regulation, calm breathing from the lower belly, being in your body, okay, not dissociating. How to do this or how to activate the parasympathetic nervous system is gently touch your lips. You can hum, be present, stick to one task at a time. Use visualization to imagine that you are in a calming place that you love. You can use all of your 5 senses to see, what you see in this moment or feel or touch in a peaceful state. Another one is to put your hand on your leg or on your belly or a hand on your heart and your belly and just breathe and tell yourself that you're safe. The nervous system reset is to lay with a pillow under your butt so that your hips are higher than your heart for 3 minutes. And then activate your vagus nerve. So you could do that by rubbing your outer ear and the indents gently. So just like giving your ear a little bit of a massage, that helps to activate the vagus nerve. Okay, your breathing will become a little bit deeper when you do that. Dissociation is a trauma response. When the pain of the past is too great and we left our body to protect ourselves emotionally, we dissociated. Dissociation is a break in how your mind handles information. You may feel disconnected from your thoughts, feelings, memories, and surroundings. It can affect your sense of identity and your perception of time. When you have dissociation, you may forget things or have gaps in your memory. Rapid mood swings, trouble remembering personal details, forgetfulness about things you've said or done, behavior or abilities that change, like altered identities, depression, anxiety, panic attack, thoughts of self-harm, substance abuse, lack of discipline, numbing, ADHD, or learning disabilities. These are all things that are from a place of fight or flight. Calming your nervous system can heal all of those, which is really beautiful, and reframing what you believe about yourself in the situation. Okay, next is boundaries. I didn't learn boundaries until I was in my 40s. I was a close cousin asked for space to heal herself, and she didn't want to attend family dinners. I honestly thought she was being a jerk at first. A big LOL. I'm grateful for that experience because it was an opportunity to have boundaries modeled for me. Without boundaries do not handle those with boundaries well until they learn the purpose. It's never too late to start. Healthy boundaries are necessary components for self-care. Without boundaries, we feel depleted, taken advantage of, taken for granted, or intruded upon. Whether it's in our work or our personal relationships, poor boundaries may lead to resentment, hurt, anger, and burnout. Personal boundaries are guidelines, rules, or limits that a person creates to identify reasonable, safe, and permissible ways for other people to behave towards them and how they will respond when someone passes those limits. They are built out of a mix of conclusions, beliefs, opinions, attitudes, past experiences, and social learning. Boundaries are essential to healthy relationships and really having a healthy life. Setting and sustaining boundaries is a skill. And I will say, as you're setting them, you will have the wobbles. You might cry, you might be nervous, you might have an anxious feeling in your stomach, but just the more that you do them and set them and say no or create a boundary, it gets easier. Boundaries are not a wall. They are a way to show others how to love us. This is our responsibility. No one is a mind reader. Having strong personal boundaries will heal a lot of ailments and things going on in the body. Bring about feelings of personal power and sovereignty. Personal boundaries and self-esteem go hand in hand. Personal boundaries or healthy personal boundaries equals taking responsibility for your own actions and emotions while not taking responsibility for the actions or emotions of others. Depending on how you were raised, you may find it easier to sacrifice your own needs for your partners out of fear of upsetting them, especially if you were controlled growing up. If you are around someone that takes away your energy, stronger boundaries will help. Recognize where you are controlling others to have your own needs met and correct this behavior. People-pleasing is a form of control and maybe even manipulation to have your needs met. I would say I hold everyone to the fire on this, whether you're a controlling kind of dominant personality or an empath, softer type person. We all are meeting our needs every day. And so it's just looking at why are they there, what are your responses or how you're looking to meet those needs, and having a look to make sure that they are for your highest good and healthy for yourself and others. People with poor boundaries typically come in two personas: those who take too much responsibility for their emotions and actions of others, and those who expect others to take too much responsibility for their own emotions and actions. Examples of emotional boundaries are saying no. No is a full sentence. Refusing to take blame, right? It's looking at the perspective of what is being said here. You both have a perspective and it's true for each of you, and looking to see where the disconnect is. Blame, when we blame someone else, is to be lame. So when you're really owning your stuff, is you're looking at, okay, what part of this is mine? Can I apologize? Can I move away? Do I need a boundary? What's my opportunity? Really is a great question to ask. Expecting respect can be an example of a boundary. So not letting people walk all over you or assuming that they're going to walk all over you. Dictating your own feelings, I would say expressing your own feelings and asking for what you want. Finding your identity outside of the relationship, asking for that validation from within yourself, accepting help, asking for space, right? I feel overwhelmed right now. I need some time to think about this. Or, can we talk about this tomorrow? I feel like I need to regulate my nervous system, right? It's being able to ask for that and communicating discomfort when you have it. Very important, because people cannot read your mind or what's going on. And so, again, they're not to assume, but you want to be upfront and forthcoming when you can. If you're changing something or there's an expectation, but it's different in your mind, definitely do the honors and let the other people know as well. Okay, next is movement. Exercise is very important in moving stuck energy. If we hold on to stuck emotions, we will end up getting sick or having pains in our body. Talking or taking a walk in nature to connect to spirit, stretch, have a dance party, or qigong are some of my favorite ways of moving energy. And I would say, since writing this, I've learned a lot about how the body biologically works. And when we are in conflict, there are no symptoms. You might be cold, you're not really hungry, but once you solve something or you decide, you know what, I'm going to have better boundaries or a better way of communicating, or I'm not taking this anymore, then you move into a healing stage. Okay, and it's in that healing stage that, we're learning to read our own body. Doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong, but that the body is in a state of healing because you've gone into a healthier mind. Mind, strong body, if you remember that. Next is daily routines for mind, body, and soul well-being. When we are used to being in fight or flight, freeze, or fawn mode, it's important to teach the body that we are safe. Retrain the autonomic nervous system of routines and coping methods learned in childhood. If the threat is gone, our body doesn't need to operate in a high cortisol state. Having a daily routine rewires us for better overall health. So if you need to, set an alarm for 10, 30, or 45 minutes before your regular routine and start small, making sure that you're showing up for yourself, right? It's a new way of honoring yourself, your temple, your body. Breath work, deep belly breath with a long exhale as soon as your brain registers that you are awake. Name 3 to 5 things that you are really grateful for during your breath work or in the morning when you are awake and you realize that, okay, here's a new day. You can put your hand on your heart and belly and repeat a mantra like I am safe or whatever other mantra resonates with you. Visualize your day going well. The brain doesn't know if it's reality or not. The brain will search for ways to make it happen. You can meditate and go within if you like that, 5 minutes or longer. Ask your body what it needs for nourishment or movement. Maybe it's dance. Maybe it's just holding a pillow tight and just soothing yourself. It's really just paying attention and having the awareness of what do you need. Again, midday meditation practice or breath work is very good. Qigong just helps get all that energy moving and resets your calm state. Tell your body that there is no threat. And then before bed, write 3 successes from the day if you like, or think about them. Lots of self-love as you are rebuilding healthy habits. Your brain or ego will want to fight this. You can say, it's okay, I got this, right? So sometimes I talk to myself like a little child, like, it's okay, relax. We're not going to die. We're in that state of fight or flight, but it's learning how to come into the state of calm. Journaling can be another form of release for triggers. I recommend a book for gains or wins. You can journal them in a separate book for mind dumping of ideas or things that you want to get done. You can burn these lists if you feel like it, releasing anything that you don't want to hold on to and letting go of the hold it may have had on you. Go with your intuition for your day. You know what is best for your own wise inner parent. Some days will look different, and that is okay. The point is to show up for yourself, to take care of you before you take care of others. Guilt-free, for sure. Guilt is really, doing something wrong. If you're not doing something wrong, then it's another emotion. So learning the emotional ladder is very helpful as well. We will have that in the app coming up. As you begin healing yourself, the relationship around you will also heal or gently fall away. Okay, so stay in your lane. Look after you first, second, and third. And I do want to share one more thing with triggers, and this can help you. It's a stop, drop, and roll methodology. So when you are triggered and you are aware, my nervous system is thrown out, take a deep breath. Okay, stop. Take a breath so that your thinking brain can stay open. Drop into your heart or your intuition, into your gut or your belly, your instinct. And instead of reacting from your head quickly, when you take that moment to breathe, you can respond from your heart. It's very different. And then the roll part is imagine that you are on a surfboard and you are, you're triggered and maybe you were able to trip up an old pattern and you responded differently, or you didn't yell or freak out, collect a gold coin, right? You have that awareness of like, oh, I changed my pattern or the way that I'm communicating, or I'm observing and not absorbing them. Then you take a gold coin, okay, as a way of creating that dopamine hit for your body, and your brain's like, oh, this is fun. Let's continue to find new patterns, and let's continue healing in this way. But if you freak out, or you don't feel good about the way you responded, whatever, and you fall off the surfboard, then it's okay. Once you come back to awareness of like, oh, I wish I had done this different, go back and repair, say something if you need to, or connect to yourself. But remember to collect the gold coins. Maybe you need to collect a bucket of gold coins because you did something that was extra hard. So just something to keep in mind that, you can do for yourself. And I just want to finish this last page here with, I wrote this ebook for those who are wanting to heal themselves, learning the tools to be your own best healer, to increase your intuition, trust your own inner magic, and not have to depend on anyone else to do that for you. Being consistent with a daily routine to connecting within, or for connecting within, calming the nervous system to get out of fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Fawn is the people pleaser. Learning how to trust yourself and others, and how to be in your power, right? Higher than yourself. You will begin to see the positive effects quickly. Okay, these positive shifts. You can use the tools in this book to heal yourself if you have the discipline. It takes time to rewire our brain and our nervous system, and if left to our own devices, we usually don't do the necessary work, right? It's easier to numb our pain. I highly recommend having a supportive community around you who understands what you've been through or what you're going through, makes you feel like you belong. Okay, no man is an island. Maybe once you heal yourself, you'll be able to help others, right? Or be drawn to help others. Service to others satisfies our need for contribution, for connection, for self purpose and meaning in our life, right? Allowing us to be seen, heard, and loved. You are reaching back to help the next person up, with the one step that you were able to take, or one cool thing that you found that was really helpful for you in your situation. And from my heart, I really just enjoy helping people end their emotional suffering, frustrations, and heal their trauma or traumatic experiences and feel good enough to serve others. So it's kind of like taking the things that happened, your training ground, growing up, and then how can you use the skills, your passions, and your shadows, to create something that feels really good to you from the inside, to feel like your life has a greater purpose, along with a supportive community. I now see that my depression was a success. It pushed me up into something better for myself. This is my wish for you as well. Thank you for sharing the space with me. May you find inner joy along your journey. Okay. And if you do want to continue further, the website for Oasis of Healing Spa, we've got 2 salt rooms that are really great for relaxing. You can come for retreats or workshops or sessions. And really, it's shifting more into self-discovery. Why do you have these things? How do we take the things that have happened to you and create something that feels really empowering for you? There's the Oasis of Healing app, where there's lots of content on there to help you with this inner healing journey and moving through the chakras. That's a really good modality, or just a structure to learn, so that you know what is happening in your body when you connect it to the chakras. You can tell, what's going on in your body first. And, moving further then into coaching and creating a business or a healing modality or something where you can empower others. I love working with new business owners or healers, or those who want to help others, all the way to those who have businesses already and you want to learn how to create better programs or offerings within your existing business that can help humanity based on your heart and where your soul is really pulling you towards. It's kind of like a rebirthing for soul business. Those are my favorite, because I know once you get strong and confident and are secure in what it is that you're doing, then you're going to go out and help more people. And that's really rewarding for me to have had a part in that, right? To have been on the journey with you. It's very exciting to me. So again, thank you so much. Email contact is oasisofhealingspa@proton.me. The website is oasisofhealingspa.com. There is a chat window in there, and you can follow me on socials, mainly so far. This is January 2024's Instagram. I don't know how much longer that will be, but I also have a Telegram group where you can come in and you can actually ask questions about what's going on in your body and have more of a community conversations back and forth. And LinkedIn is also another platform that I like to utilize. So thank you so much for being here, and look forward to hearing your thoughts on the book. If you have any feedback, that's welcomed as well. And thank you so much for being in the community. We will talk to you soon. Take care.